Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Universal Laws series. We are on day 15 of our Universal Laws of Wealth. So, we've been focusing specifically on how the universal laws relate to our wealth story. Now, if you've been following along, you know that wealth means so much more than money. So, we've been talking about it with money, little bits here and there, but wealth is about having the flow of well being in whatever area of your life, in fact, all areas of your life, and focusing your attention on the areas that feel the most out of flow or out of sync to restore well being and to restore well being through the awareness of the laws. Good morning. So, the law of entropy is this was the moment that I really landed into the law of entropy. And I alluded to this a bit yesterday. That was the moment when I felt an immense amount of freedom and support and love from the universe. The fact that the law of entropy exists, it can be alarming for some. Like there are some that from a scientific perspective, like, oh my gosh, every time we create something, it moves into entropy. So here's the deal, because I want to tell you why entropy is actually your absolute best friend when you're conscious. If you are unconscious and you create something and take your focus away from it, if you don't keep creating, it will break down and come undone and return back to its cellular components. So everything will break down. So, from science, this is frustrating, right? From a scientific perspective, science often sees this as a negative and doesn't recognize just how beautifully it matches with evolution and the other energetic laws. So, there are four sources of energy that we've talked about in this series. We have source energy, we have gravity, we have strong force energy, and we have weak force energy. Evolution works with strong force energy, and it helps to create this burst of energy that moves forward that we create with, as we talked about yesterday. Entropy works with weak force energy. It's a consistent low vibe energy that helps break things down. It's always working in the background. So that weak force energy is always moving through your reality. And anything that you're not focused on, this is a law with everything, every single place in the world, in your body, out of your body, in the physical, anything that has to do with matter, you will experience a breakdown. If you stop focusing on it, if you no longer include it. So let's talk specifically about this, because I really want to give you direct use of this to really understand the power of it related to money today. So if you're not focusing on something, if you let go of it, you're not thinking about it, you're not feeling about it, and you're not behaving on behalf of it, right? You don't have any actions, nothing inspired. There's no inspiration. You've dropped it from your awareness. You're like, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to include it. It's not part of my experience. It's not something that I want to pay attention to. It's not a frequency I want to feel. So you're not creating a vibration. Now, I want to be really specific here. I don't mean if you stop thinking about the dollars themselves. Like if you're like, well, I'm not thinking about the dollars in my account all the time, then they'll go away. That's not what I'm talking about. It's not like that. The physical thing, money is breaking down all the time. Paper and coins, they're breaking down all the time. Don't worry about it. All of that's replaced. It's no big deal. It'll be there. It'll be there because there's a focus on the frequency of wealth through financial means, the material world. You're always vibrating with a particular experience of well being in your contribution, how you're flowing love into the world, how you're showing up and living in the world, the value you believe, how confident you are about who you are. When you are thinking about, let's bring it to money. So I think this will demonstrate it really, really great. So if you are thinking about debt, let's talk about debt and bills and these things that you think, these obligations and things you feel like you're connected to, like, oh my gosh, I've got all this debt and I've got to clear this debt away. If you're thinking about debt, what you're actually creating is a vibrational frequency of lack, number one, lack, and worry. So you've got a combination of worry, anxiety, lack. All of these feelings are creating this internal cocktail of emotional frequency that's moving through your body. So you're creating a focus on that feeling state. You're associating that with debt. So I feel anxious, uncertain, I feel obligated, I feel connected, I feel like what are all these things? What you're not focusing on is wealth and abundance and expansion. So that frequency isn't dominant in your body. So guess which one's in entropy? wealth and expansion is an entropy. The thing that's not an entropy is the creation of your debt. So you might pay it, but you'll keep it. You'll keep having debt. Entropy is incredibly powerful. It is your best friend. When you really get this, the feeling state you're not focusing on will stop being dominant, which means it will stop bringing things into your experience. That frequency will go into entropy, and everything related to that frequency will go into entropy. So if I'm focused on wealth and expansion and the receiving of flow, the giving of flow of my contribution to the world, like I love being of service, I love connecting, I love receiving. Something we do in Mind Shift is we really focus on opening our heart in order to give, and then we open our heart in order to receive, and they're different parts of the flow, and we move that flow. And we focus our attention on the flow of our well-being. And we focus the flow on the attention of our source energy and our connection to the oneness of all life and all of these laws. We focus our attention on our essence and what we contribute to the world. We focus our flow on what we want. And so when we're focused on what we want, then the flow of everything that we need to have what we want is now called in. It's in creation. And what we don't want, what we're not thinking about, we're not thinking about debt. We're not thinking about illness. We're not thinking about something that's broken. We're not thinking about whatever it is, the worry, the anxiety. It goes into entropy. You don't need to do anything about it. Oh, please feel and hear this. Like I want to write it on paper. I want to draw diagrams of here's what happens to your debt. Your debt dissolves when you're focused on wealth, when you're focused on expansion. Because when you're not focused on debt, the wealth allows you just to move energy and flow it wherever is in front of you for that day. What's the next best thing to do today? Oh, well, let's just set up that on auto pay. And I have so much wealth flowing through. Let's just pay that off. Like, how exciting is that? Oh my gosh, when I look at my bank account, there's so much wealth that I'll just pay my car off. I'm not even thinking about debt. I'm just noticing, oh, what's possible today? So I start tapping into the possibility. Oh, and if I move this money and if I do this, then I can do that. I'll have access to that. The lack frequency goes into entropy. The universe brings you everything. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about the debt. What happens is you get an inspired thought. An inspired thought that says, imagine if you did this, and it's related to entropy already in action. Did you know that this debt is going away? We need your assistance now. The universe calls you as a resource to help break down the energy of your debt. You're now helping the universe to support the clearing away of this energy. It's not the other way around. The universe is just breaking down what's no longer in your focus. Do you hear that? Do you feel this? When you stop focusing on it, the universe activates entropy, and the universe is in charge of entropy, not you. So the universe will call forth all of the resources that break that thing down. Just like when a plant dies and it goes back to the soil, the universe calls in the bacteria, the animals, the oxygenation, everything that needs to occur. The plant is gone into entropy. The universe comes in to complete the entropy. The same thing happens with everything. The universe calls the resources, not you. You do not have to manifest the pathway of entropy. It's none of your business. There's nothing you need to do except for respond if you get an inspired moment that says, hey, you know that money in that account? Let's just take all of that and then just pay this. That would be really useful. We'd like you to flow it that way right now so that then we can flow some other stuff your way, because the universe is breaking that down. You're not thinking about it. You're not keeping it in. You're not turning a blind eye. You're not like, ah, la, 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 I'm in denial. You're like, awesome, I have this debt and I don't want it anymore. So I'm going to focus on wealth, and I'm going to take responsibility for all of the inspired action. I'm going to stay in integrity and alignment with me. And I'm going to just go through and write the payments and do the things and whatever feels inspired. But I'm not going to give it any of my emotional attention, because I don't want to give lack emotional attention. No emotional attention, because emotional intention activates strong force energy. Strong force energy creates. So if you have emotional attention towards something, you're creating it. period, end of story, end of the day, shut the door, drop the mic, whatever. That's it. If you give it emotional energy, you are creating it because you're going to activate the law of abundance. You're going to amplify, you're activating evolution. It wants to be the best debt you've ever had. You bring your attention to the debt. It wants to get bigger and greater. It wants you to then you can get this big loan that takes care of everything. So now your debt's just a bigger number in one account. And then that doesn't work out. So then you start to get other smaller accounts because you really miss going on vacation and you have all this debt and you're so focused on debt that now you've got to take out a credit card to go traveling because it doesn't even occur to you to make the money to pay for it cash. So you just add more to it. So now you have the big one, and then it just becomes an umbrella for more debt because the debt is now in creation. The debt is in strong force energy. The debt is multiplying like a bunny rabbit because that's what it's supposed to do when you're activating strong force energy. When you have emotional attention on debt, it just keeps growing. Can you feel it? Like, I love this law so much because this law tells me, and it tells you, and it tells all of us, when we're done with something, the universe will clean it up. And if the universe needs our help, it'll let us know. And if it doesn't, it won't. It'll just clear it without you. And I have watched that happen so many times. I've watched things just disappear. It's the best. Let entropy be here. Do not resist entropy. Entropy is not our enemy. Entropy is not a problem. You do not need to go in entropy. Your body doesn't need to go into entropy. Only the things that feel unwanted. Aging could go into entropy. You could be in a constant state of living, and you could be in a constant state of youthfulness by focusing on your youthfulness. Do you know, I wake up every day feeling alive and young and full of life and full of inspiration and excitement. I never think about the cycles of life that are passing. I never think about my age other than when I'm calculating my numerology. My age means nothing to me from a physical perspective. What is 48? 48 comes together and creates a numerical component that helps me understand who I am and my purpose. It doesn't have anything to do with entropy. I love being me. And when I love being me, I expand, I grow, I evolve. It's bliss. So fall in love with entropy. Let entropy be your friend. Don't try to stop entropy from unfolding. Let entropy do its work. It's like having a house cleaner full time, all the time, cleaning the things up. It's like having a literal universal house cleaner. Like, I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more grateful for entropy. And I'm willing, because of my understanding of entropy, to be so in love with what I create and to activate evolution and to be of service to the universe, which is what the universe wants. The universe needs your mind and emotional energy to create and evolve. It can take care of the rest. You support the growth and creation. That's your job. You're a creator, not a destroyer. You are a creator. So go create. I love this energy for the weekend. I hope this really lands with you. I hope this helps you have spontaneous combustion in your life and open up to massive expansion of wealth for you. Focus on creation. Go back to evolution and watch it again. Evolve your wealth and entropy your debt. Just allow it to happen. So much love. I hope you have an amazing weekend. We'll see you Monday. I've got a whole new week of laws, and I have some really cool announcements. There's some really exciting things and some things that I'd like to invite you to coming up really soon. So I'm excited to take this conversation further and for the whole world to experience the entropy of debt and war and violence and aging and experience the evolution of love and abundance and unity. Let's do this together. All right. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.